Hi, I'm Steve. This is Fran. Today, we are going to rate the best luxury brands, the pros and cons of both. And then we're going to give you our top 5. So let's get started.
All right,
What's
so we're
first?
talking overall brands, cooking, cleaning, refrigeration. We're going to talk about everything here. So let's start first with Gaggenau.
Okay. In terms of precision cooking, there's nothing better. I mean, when you can control the temperature to 1 degree, that's pretty good. Their steam ovens will give you the percentage of steam. If you really know how to cook, they have 17 modes in their oven. 17. So for people that really know how to cook, you know, pastries and breads and stuff like that, this is the precision line that we sell.
Yeah, really, and they're super premium, it's really one of the top of the line luxury brand there. One thing they don't give you, depending on what you're looking at, is professional ranges. They do cooktops, built-in ovens. Their steam ovens and speed ovens really are top of the line, best of the best.
Built-ins, great.
Plumbed steam ovens, so you don't have to refill the water there. I mean, like you said, the precision cooking. Some people kind of maybe sometimes get a little scared away with Gaggenau, but truly it's, once you learn it, and if you really love to get engaged in the cooking, there is truly nothing like it that gives you the control.
One's mode, one's temperature. Yep. You know, once you get past that, it's a lot easier. But it's not intuitive either. Like, you know, some of the other brands is like, if you want to make bread, there's a button for that particular type of bread, and this is not the line for that. That's the really weakness to it. The refrigerators, you know, Thermador, Bosch, and Miele and Gaggenau are all made in the same Turkish factory. I think Sub-Zero's a little bit better there. It doesn't have pro cooking, but in terms of built-ins, this is good. But you got to like that style too. You don't. It's really unique. When you see a row of wall ovens on display, this one is the most unique. But still, precision-wise, I really like the line. I for someone who really loves to cook, this is fantastic. I would say A.
Yeah, definitely a very high A for sure. You know, that glass over stainless steel, like you said, a really unique design. I mean, it's just so unique in many ways, from design to performance. So a very high A there for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go with Miele.
Miele would be like, kind of like Gaggenau, a little bit notched down in terms of precision. However, way more intuitive. That M Touch, I mean, you basically put in whatever it is, how you want it cooked, and it'll do it for you. It's great, and it's great with steam assist. It makes steam easy. Gaggenau doesn't make steam easy.
Yeah.
You know, you can just basically go through a menu and just hit a button and really be proficient in steam. Now, will it do all the functions of a Gaggenau once you want a Gaggenau? No, but nobody does. But in terms of easy luxury, I like it. But again, you know, downside to them is their refrigerator is made in the same Turkish plant as everything else. But in terms of dishwashers, that auto dose dishwasher, we did test, actually washes the best, but it's over $2,000 to do it. Induction is good. The gas cooktops are good. The pro ranges have the M Touch. They're decent, although, you know, it's half pro. In the back, it's 12,000 BTU, which is normal, really.
Yeah, range tops, definitely kind of not like in the same kind of vein. They're not quite the same as maybe some of the other brands as far as power and performance. You know, they even have laundry if you're looking at the overall brand, which is phenomenal, compact laundry.
But it's only compact.
Correct.
It's not big.
Yep. Dishwasher really is top of the line.
Dishwasher laundry is the best if you're looking at it. What do you think?
I'd go with an A.
Okay. Go with an A.
JennAir.
You know, JennAir does a nice job too with their Culinary Center, where if you put in what you want, it'll give you. It not only will give you time and, you know, you put in that, it'll give you the time and temperature, right? It does all that input for you. But it's got the Culinary Center, so it'll show you what it looks like in pictures. I think that's kind of cool. The pro ranges are good. The refrigerator is decent. I don't know why I don't love it more. I just don't.
The refrigeration is kind of one of those love it or hate it things. It's the black interior where as soon as you open it, you're going to know right away whether you even really want to kind of look at that any further. It doesn't have the dual compressor in their pro refrigeration. It's really a dual evaporator. So not quite at the same level as like a Sub-Zero or a lot of really the other brands there. You know, their styles and pro ranges, I think kind of the Rise and Noir are kind of two extremes where kind of in-your-face pro or really kind of contemporary, so not a lot of in the middle there. I think their wall ovens, though, are really great wall ovens, like you said, with the Culinary Center.
Dishwashers are rebanded KitchenAids. Refrigeration isn't that good. Give them their due on their pro range. Their griddle is the easiest to clean by far. Not all. I'd give it a solid B.
Yeah, I'd go B. Next, let's go Monogram.
It's an interesting line. I like the accents to it. I like it's 23,000 BTUs. You get a decent griddle, decent dishwashers. The refrigerators with the multi-level and the professional with the drawers that allow you to auto cool and thaw or frost. Very decent all around, and at a decent price, and it'll give you that Thermador or JennAir rebate.
You have the smart controls now that they really integrated and done a nice job.
Yeah, their smart HQ is really good, and you've got that Heston Q burner that'll automatically modulate the flame as you go in your recipe. I like the line at it for a price line. I don't think it's to the level of a Gaggenau, but it's certainly not a price. I would say price, features, everything. I'd give it an A.
Yeah, solid A for sure. Great look. The refrigeration and the columns are kind of really new and really nice with the stainless steel interior. The bottom mounts are starting to come out with their new series now as well. So I would definitely go with a solid A there.
Decent.
SKS.
Well, I've said this before. Anything LG has done in the last few years, I know they had their compressor issues in 2019, has been really remarkable. I like their pro range.
Yeah,
it's got the
really unique.
It's got induction. It's got sous vide. It's got steam. The column refrigerators have the most capacity. Their new 48-inch integrated is really cool. Their dishwashers are the most reliable that we sell, and employ steam functionality, and they did really well in our tests. I really like the line. Whether you buy it, like I said before, or not, it's something you should consider in the next, certainly not this renovation, the next one.
Yeah, unique. Even their cooktops are really good. Their wall ovens have nice controls there as well. 3-year parts and labor warranty, which is always good as well. Definitely a brand that isn't always there, kind of talked about with some of the others, but definitely like you said, you should definitely consider.
Strong B?
Yeah, strong B.
Strong B. And it all depends really what you're looking for, obviously.
Thermador.
Great line in terms of their pro ranges are good. You get the 2 different styles. Right. The star burner is excellent because it's raised. I don't buy into the whole spreads the heat, so you get it more even in your pan. The pan cooks the food. But it's got a lot of good functionality that way. I think their induction, and I say that about Gaggenau because Thermo Gaggenau are really the same. Their induction is the best between the liberty that you can move it back and forth at different temperatures and the freedom we can go side to side.
Their gas cooktops are truly one of the best on the market there. Like I said, with those same kind of burner style, power there, the extra low simmer with the on-off gets really low. Built-ins, wall ovens, I think.
Single convection, basic style, higher price. I get that you're getting a free dishwasher to a certain extent. To me, the cooking needs help, the built-in cooking. Other than that, though, it's pretty competitive and a lower price, which is good. I'd say strong B, low A.
Yeah, I'd go low A, too. They do have some new refrigeration coming out beginning of next year, too, with the 42 and 48-inch French door integrated models as well, which will be really nice. Good overall line, good overall value, I think. But yeah, definitely needs a little bit more innovation, and specifically in their built-in cooking for sure. So, low A?
Sure.
Okay. BlueStar.
Everything we've looked at is like one color. One. So you get a choice of stainless. The JennAir, you get the rebellious choice of 2 different stainless steels. And this one, you get a 1,000 different colors and 10 trims. And if that's not enough, you can customize your own. Yeah. Another American-made small family company. I really like the line. I love their pro ranges. Their dual fuel is good. Very powerful, 25,000 BTU in the front. Was it 15 to 18 in the back?
Great controls in the new dual fuel.
Great controls in the new dual fuel. I think the refrigerators are underrated. You get the color. They're all stainless steel on the inside. They're all made for chef's pans.
Yep.
I mean, they don't have dishwashers. I think they're made for them, or do they even have dishwashers?
They don't. So you can, they'll offer, like if you get a panel ready dishwasher, you can get a matching custom kind of BlueStar panel as well to kind of get that whole look, but they don't actually make the dishwasher.
Problem is the wall oven. The wall ovens, you do get a really good gas oven. Nobody has gas wall ovens. It's like a bad thing. And you do have the French doors, which is nice. I think a French door wall oven, especially with a lot of people have islands, the French doors don't take up the whole thing. And when you open a French door, you're in the oven. You don't have to lift up over that. I think there's some value to that. I really like the line. Again, you're not going to get a dishwasher. Some of the built-in cooking isn't, but
the cooktops are going to be redone to match that new X8 burner that you see in the dual fuel, but not quite there yet. Like I said, the refrigeration is really solid as well.
Yeah, I like the refrigeration.
What do you think?
I look, for someone that's looking for a departure from stainless, this is really a good choice. I like it. I would say for me, for pro ranges, it's really competitive, solid A.
Yeah.
Everything else. Refrigeration, I'd give it an A. And we haven't been able to sell some brands because of supply chain issues, and it's done a really nice job. I'd give it an A.
I'd go A too. There
Wow.
we go. I was waiting to disagree here a little bit the way you were going. I wasn't sure. All right, let's go Fisher-Paykel.
Good columns, very underrated. Pro ranges are basic, but it gives you the basics that you want. I like the fact that going into it, they'll have the first 48 in induction range. We don't talk about induction very much. Good induction cooking, decent wall ovens. Gaggenau's got 17, but they've got a lot of pastry modes and everything else you're not going to get from a lot of
Even
things.
the knob controls, where everyone's kind of gotten away from the knobs to some degree. The knob controls are pretty nice. They've done a nice job incorporating those. Where
people are buying Fisher-Paykel is builders that want something edgy.
Yeah.
That's the word when you use for Fisher-Paykel. It's edgier. You're not spending as much, and it is construed as a luxury brand, although they have a separate one. And if you're not interested in luxury, they have the integrated French door, which you can buy for a lot cheaper than anything else. I like the brand. I think it's a solid B.
Yeah, definitely a B. Their pro refrigeration, they've gotten there a little bit with their newer columns, but their bottom mount professional refrigeration, they will get there with that kind of traditional 84-inch height. Not quite there yet, but I think that's where you'll see the next innovation from them. But for now, definitely a solid B.
Cool.
Viking?
Viking, we were one of the first dealers back in 1990, and we don't sell them now. And I think they lost their way when they invested in Culinary with Culinary Centers and forgot about the product. This is a company that owned the market. 56% of it was Viking, and they just stopped innovating. And the refrigeration, which I saw was the original Amana refrigerator designed in Iowa that they bought and kept in Iowa for years. You can't mention that product without service issues. You're talking near 100%. And then they had that tragic D3 thing that they came out with lesser price that had problems. I do think that they've got the right leadership. I think Middleby's the right company to right the ship. They have 17 colors. They got very good pro ranges. They've got the Tuscany look. If you like that kind of different look, I like all that stuff, but I would really look reviews and make sure whoever you buy from can fix it. So I would say it's, again, American made. I would say B to C, maybe.
Yeah, I don't have as much experience with the brand in general, but definitely for me, service is such an important thing that I think that's really the most important thing to look at here. So I'd lean towards you there. I'd say probably low B, C's.
Okay. All right. So
final one, Sub-Zero Wolf.
Oh yeah, Jesus, man.
Final one.
We've forgotten a brand on every one of them.
Yeah, I think we need to get some editors here to double check us here.
We have been double checking. Sub-Zero Wolf, I mean, what can you say? The only knock against them is they aren't available. They aren't available because everybody wants them. And when you make a unique product and you get a unique supply chain issue, you're going to have unique problems, which they've had. But nobody makes a better refrigerator. In terms of they were the ones with ethylene gas scrubbers and humidity. They've got the new one with split humidity. One, the airflow goes differently in the crisper bends than it does in the regular unit. Better lit.
ton of variety there, from the columns to the side-by-sides to the French door options. So, I mean, dual fuel range is really kind of top of the line as far as that, with the kind of unique convection, bigger oven, great controls. Really with their, their cooktop, induction cooktops as well, and gas cooktops.
They have a new induction.
Yeah.
I saw it, with the screen on it now.
Yeah, really intuitive.
Yeah, I mean, anything that they've done, they've been first. They've got the best convection system. They actually, a lot of people are looking for wine. They've got the best wine storage because it's not just a refrigerator with wine shelves. They actually split it up with 2 unique temperature zones and all that other stuff. So the only problem with them is availability, and I think their gas ranges need an update. But other than that, though, to me, it's well deserved. And they're on top of the parts and service better than anybody else, without question. Family owned and operated, which certainly means something, American made, but good.
Yeah, maybe dishwashers can get this, definitely some solid competition with their Cove dishwasher there.
Yeah, but you're starting a factory.
Yeah.
A dishwasher. They haven't made a lot. They've had their problems, but they'll address them. But I look at it as more of a refrigerator cooking line. Their dishwashers will come. They're nice.
Yeah.
They just can't produce enough of them. But in terms of the best, I would say this is it for me. This would be the best that we sell.
Yeah, no question. I think we go S here for sure. Just from the overall cooking, refrigeration, they're really top of the line, and both those obviously super important categories. So hard to beat there.
All right, your top 5. Now, before you get to top 5, if you like the format, click and subscribe. We're gonna have more of these. But what is your top 5?
So my top 5 overall, no particular orders here, but my overall, I'm gonna go Subwolf, Thermador, Monogram, Gaggenau, and Miele.
All right. I would do, in order, Sub-Zero, Gaggenau, Miele, BlueStar, because, I mean, if somebody wants some other than stainless steel, well, there's not much on the list other than Viking and basically BlueStar, and they get 1,000 colors. And I like the Monogram from a price point.
Yeah.
I think for someone they're looking for a decent quality at a lesser price, I think they deliver on that. So we didn't air that much.
No, little small differences.
Okay, small differences. Okay.
It's always good to have some small differences there.
All right. If you like this video, we've done one on just pro ranges, and you can just click this link to learn a little bit more about those. And thanks for watching.